Hello and a warm welcome to the BYD Objective. At long last, we've successfully managed to get the new sedan right in front of our camera lens. They come in two versions. One is rear-wheel drive, which is the model we have here. The other option available is all-wheel drive. The target is called a Seal, and we are definitely quite eager to watch how this Seal handles itself on the street. That means we'll be making a classic review with a test drive for you today, and we'll then create a second video where we want to drive 1,000 kilometers in one day with the BYD Seal Design. We're participating in the ED1000 for BYD. A second video will follow in a few days. That's why I can only recommend you check if you're part of the einfach electric community. If not, we'd be thrilled if you could subscribe, ring the bell, and you won't miss the second video with 1,000 kilometers in the BYD Seal. And as always, we start from the outside, start from the front. Let's take a look at the front of the BYD Seal. And a Seal is actually a bit humpier, a bit more corpulent, right, Stefan? Yes.
Isn't quite flat.
But when we take a closer look at how gracefully and effortlessly the BYD Seal rises, we see it's a sedan. Finally, a car that's not an SUV, beautifully designed. Stefan, isn't that neat?
It's awesome. I'm so excited.
Finally, we've got a fresh, modern design. The LED headlights with high-low beam function. Here, the daytime running lights. And again, such a silhouette that creates such dynamics. Like, yeah, I don't know. Then we have these suggested air curtains here, but also with functionality. In some ways, it's also designed to be aerodynamic. It could almost compete a little bit with the newest version of the Taycan. But we're talking about a completely different price range here because this derivative starts at 44,900 euros for the rear-wheel drive model. If you want an all-wheel drive, add 6,000, bringing it to a total of 50,900 euros. And I really think it's quite a super sporty sedan. Wouldn't you agree, Stefan? Absolutely.
Yeah, so nice.
We have it here in a wonderful gray metallic, which due to the influence of the sun, you might see it a little bit here, shifts into purple. Ultra cool, right? Yes.
Looks amazing, yeah.
Too bad I wore my purple and white striped shirt yesterday. If I had known it would shine like that in the sun, I could have matched beautifully again. Yeah, let's take a look at the rims. We've got 19 inches here on board. Everything is included in the price. You just choose the color. You have 19 inches to 35, 45, rather 19. It's aerodynamically optimized, and that's the question, Stefan. Does it look cool?
Yeah, sure, but I also don't think everyone's gonna like it here.
If you're looking for something bigger, wider, taller, or faster, you could explore the options in the aftermarket or perhaps consider what BYD has to offer, right?
Sure.
What I really appreciate is that we don't have any chrome. A sleek, glossy black silhouette with privacy glass in the rear. As I said, everything comes standard. Then there's the nice retractable door handles. And just take a look at that side skirt with these accentuations here. That's truly incredible, just like a detailed diamond cut design. That looks incredibly performant and gives the whole thing such an impressive dynamic touch. That extends back here into the C-pillar. Take a look here, kind of like a shark. These gill structures along the side, you know? Yeah. So somehow I have to say BYD has a love for detail. And some say the most beautiful side of the car isn't even the front part, but in plain English,
No.
Absolutely, and do please take a look at that. Isn't it just quite a truly lovely bum to admire?
Sure.
And here we've nicely integrated LED technology again, taillights, also with such a continuous design. I must say this all looks absolutely amazing. And if you lower the camera a bit more, you'll even notice a big chunky rear diffuser. Wow, we already drove through Düsseldorf with it yesterday and also went to Holland by car. And it's causing quite a stir.
Sure thing.
People aren't really thinking of an EV there. Many think of a high-performance combustion engine. We need to get that notion out of our heads. Honestly, the only thing I'm missing, BYD, might be a demolition edge here, don't you think? Right here, a nice little lip, whether it's glossy black or possibly carbon, or even a small wing that can smoothly deploy. That will give the whole thing that final, what do you call it, touch? Yeah.
Ultimate kick. Call it whatever you prefer.
Guess what I love?
Indeed, that we simply don't have any shark locks.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. There you have it, BYD. I think it's fantastic. I can celebrate it every time. Feel free to share in the comments how you perceive the design. Let's proceed now to the technical specifications. We have a vehicle length of 4.80 meters and a vehicle width of 1.87 meters. Considering the side mirrors, we're just over 2 meters and 10 centimeters wide. Yes, in terms of height. are 1,46 meters, and thus it remains nice and low as befits a sporty sedan. And we have a wheelbase of 2.92 meters. And what lies between, we'll discuss in just a moment. We have the rear-wheel drive variant, which means the electric motor is located on the rear axle, driving the rear wheels with 230 kilowatts and 313 horsepower. 460 newton meters of torque are supposed to make it go from 0 to 100 in 5.9 seconds and reach a top speed of 180 kilometers per hour. We'll of course try to find both out here around Düsseldorf with you guys. And folks, if you say 230 kilowatts, 313 horsepower rear wheel drive isn't enough, what do we have then, Stefan? Really serious power. An electric motor at the back, an electric motor at the front, together 390 kilowatts, 530 horsepower, 646 newton meters of torque, 0 to 100 in 3.8 seconds, and unfortunately also only 180 kilometers per hour at the top. Disappointed.
That's a bit of a shame.
Yeah, because such a 530 horsepower car wants to go over 200 in Germany, right? What is hidden between the wheelbase we have discussed, namely not yet, and that is an 82.5 kilowatt hour net capacity battery pack. It's likely to be around 84 kilowatt hours gross, and back here it's then three-phase with 11 kilowatts. Can be charged at the beautiful AC connection designed for alternating current, and naturally you can also utilize fast charging with DC, potentially reaching up to 130 kWh at its peak output, which unfortunately means that he currently takes like 10 to 80, roughly around 38-40 minutes, Stefan. I heard whispers about that, but it's not official. I didn't actually say that either. I heard there might possibly be an update in 2025.
That we obviously don't want to confirm.
And I've heard from China, as I'm always doing investigative work for you all, that it can even manage to do 1080 in 20 minutes. That would definitely be really amazing. The BYD Seal charged up from 10% to 80% in just 20 minutes. That's what we want, right? Or what do you guys say? Stefan just corrected me. Even 150 kilowatts peak should be possible. We'll be testing that together with you guys in the second video when we drive the full 1,000 kilometers. What BYD understood from the very first second, because they are of course a battery manufacturer, a producer of their own electric motors, and also build the car themselves, so a full service provider. Unlike many other manufacturers who have 1,000 suppliers for this and that, BYD also likely has a few for things like the sound system and other components. But everything related to the drivetrain, battery, all this technology, they develop it themselves. Just as a heads up, yes, they have of course considered the frunk. Very nice hood lifters, even in the price range 44 grand, a lovely insulation up here. And then we have here 53 liters of storage volume. You can definitely fit a few charging cables in there or a pair of running shoes. Use whatever you like. Nicely sealed here with rubber too. You've got the filler neck for the windshield washer fluid on top, the brake fluid, that's really neat and perfectly organized. The only thing left to sound now would be, yes.
That's a really nice rich sound.
Let's try that, Stefan. 3.
Okay, it's 2 and then 1.
Ah, full. Now just imagine if we had a fleece hack here. You know, like with the BMW i4.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Then it could almost turn into the perfect electric car from the outside, right? Yes, but regrettably it didn't quite get there. It's simply a typical sedan, a notchback design. A limousine that's extremely popular worldwide, but somehow not so much with us Germans. And for good reason. We Germans tend to be very, very precise and extremely meticulous about details because we have here just a relatively narrow loading hatch that is limited in terms of height. In reality, I find it nicely large, also very well done, because it goes all the way back here and you can really load it up to this point. I had the Audi e-tron GT then, and you could only load flat at the back as the lid closed on top, you know? Yeah. But we definitely don't want to compare the car to an Audi e-tron GT. Yes, we've got a trunk volume of 400 liters here, all beautifully lined with luxurious carpet. Absolutely top of the range. It comes standard with a design at 44 kilograms. Additionally, Dyne Audio is also included. Here's another nice little compartment where you can stash a bit of your stuff and things. Here we have another very nice compartment located in the double cargo floor, so to speak, where we could, for example, alternatively think about storing our Type 2 charging cable inside the spacious frunk. Yeah, that's a truly high quality impression. What I'm missing, Stefan, is a ski pass-through would be really ideal. If you take a look, we've got about 60% of the back seat that can fold down on the driver's side here. That works wonderfully. Unfortunately, it's not spring-loaded, so you have to almost reach through the door. But I would like the 20% in the middle or a pass-through, because some of you might want to go on a ski holiday and take the skis on board. This allows you to also fold 40% on the passenger side. Sadly, BYD didn't specify the volume. I'd approximate it at somewhere around 1,000 liters. Please feel free to leave a comment if you think this estimate sounds reasonably accurate. What I think I forgot earlier is the curb weight. We have 2,050 kilograms for the RWD and then 2,185 kilograms for the all-wheel drive version. Stefan, let me guess what opens up.
Electric shut.
That's quite an intriguing story. Let's take a look and see if it goes nice and smoothly. Yes, he's doing that properly, and now bang, perhaps a soft close is necessary once more. However, we don't constantly want to demand every little thing here at Simply Electric. Yeah, I couldn't find anything about the roof load either, so if you have any info, please feel free to share it in the comments for the community. What I did find, however, is an optional tow hitch. Now, we have to be careful. The RWD can tow 750 kilograms braked or unbraked. And the AWD, that is the all-wheel drive BYD Seal, can even tow 1.5 tons of brake trailer weight. That's always super awesome, isn't it? If you attach a nice sports boat here or hang on a sun or even a horse. So with the BYD Seal with a trailer as an AWD, you can use it with up to 1.5 tons of brake trailer load. Outside, we've shown everything. Now let's head inside. First, we'll check the windows. We want to measure the interior noise with you later. Very nice double glazing, 2 panes connected with a film. That's already an excellent approach and could suggest the potential for noticeably lower interior noise levels. Yeah, where I was really surprised was with the door trim. Look over here, Stefan. At the top you have this nice soft touch plastic followed by a double colored stitch in such a striking light blue turquoise hue. Then here with gray, it looks really classy. Here the beautiful Alcantara. Then here matte black and not like some kind of piano lacquer. I think it's awesome. Dynaudio sound system, same on board. Here again some plastic, then here again painted. Here again some faux leather, also with the two-tone stitching and just a bit of hard plastic down here in the lower area. But unfortunately, it's not lined internally with plastic or carpet, which unfortunately means that it causes it to rustle just a little bit. And here you can see with the plastic that it can easily get scratched, just like with our press car here. Yes, but I have to say the upper section is extremely well crafted. Yes.
It's really good.
It truly feels quite premium.
That's really not far away.
A warm welcome here to the dashboard, and again you see this nice soft touch plastic with a soft foam underneath, followed by the two-tone stitching covering everything up top. Only the last part near the rear window is made of hard plastic, but no one really looks there anyway. What we have is a very large bike-style display that's statically mounted on the dashboard where you can read all the essential information, and it can be switched between light and dark modes. I personally prefer the dark setting, but unfortunately, since it's not very video friendly, it makes capturing everything clearly a bit more challenging. Yes, we do have an adjustable steering column that can conveniently be modified in both height and distance. We have the classic wiper settings on the right, indicator lever on the left, a nice multi-function steering wheel, plus haptic buttons, and a nice rotary knob here with a rocker. Only this plastic here in the middle. You might have been able to cover it with faux leather if you wanted to. But everything is nice and sporty, really quite robust and substantial. You can definitely feel that sports car DNA they so strongly aim to convey through the BYD brand. Yes, the standout feature in the center is undoubtedly the large, centrally positioned infotainment screen. I guess that's about 14 or 15 inches, Stefan, right? And as we're used to with BYD, you can decide by pressing a button on the steering wheel. Would you prefer it in a vertical orientation as shown here, which can be quite advantageous when navigating long distances? Or would you favor using additional entertainment features or having a wider map display? Then the horizontal layout. The decision is yours and you can choose it to match your preference. Yes, great climate menu. So we have here the air vents that you can accordingly cannot manually adjust, but rather through the system, meaning you have various preset options to select from. You can control it manually or set it to automatic mode. Standard features also include both seat heating and seat ventilation up front, as well as steering wheel heating. Everything functions exceptionally well, and you also have an ionizer included on board and proper air purification. So if you, for example, if unexpectedly there are bad odors in here, you can even do a quick cleaning where it circulates the air accordingly and thereby improves the quality. Yeah, the highlight for me here is also the infotainment system. We have the 3 quick tiles, which I believe can also be customized. Here, as we know from the tablet, we have the sub-menus where we can adjust everything. And we have included the BYD's own navigation system, which I think is also very, very nice, very, very smooth, very, very fast, and works really well here. And where you can just switch back and forth here. Why the setup is taking a bit longer at this particular moment, I honestly don't know, Stefan. That is probably the showcase effect, right? Exactly, because normally this was always relatively smooth. Well, but otherwise, you also have a highlight included here, which is Android Auto and Apple CarPlay wireless. This means you have the possibility, of course, to very, very nicely mirror the phone on the entire screen size. We also always like to navigate with Google Maps because, especially in urban environments, in my opinion, it currently has some of the best real-time traffic sign guidance. You can switch between menus very quickly, which is actually brilliantly done. Then we have 2 inductive charging slots here. Hats off and congratulations on that, meaning that the passenger, in this case Stefan, could also charge their phone inductively. We have a nice crystal that basically controls the driving modes in the usual forms with the park button. Unfortunately, we still have such an on and off function with start and stop. I would have preferred if they left it out, as you can effortlessly start the car by pressing the pedal and then turn it off easily just by locking the car. The volume and noise function here is also very nice, then as a rotary knob, which is also easy to find. We have the hazard warning lights function, and then here we also have the option to switch the car with a rotary dial between Eco, Normal and Sport. I might have wished, similar to how it's offered in some vehicles, an individual mode where one could potentially customize certain aspects to a greater extent. Nice and spacious here, then tapering to become narrower, offering good space for knees with 2 generously sized cup holders. This basically contains the NFC chip, which you can use, for instance, with the digital key. It could be a card or maybe later even your smartphone to signal to the car that you are authorized to drive it. Here we have a nice large storage compartment, also nicely lined with felt and with a rubber that allows you to remove it, wipe out. Then to store things in the compartment once more. Yeah, the standout feature for me is this. I'm uncertain how they pulled it off because with the Tesla Model 3 it's slightly different in some way. Yeah, see, the roof fully extends all the way to the C pillar. There's no dome positioned at the B pillar, and they cleverly haven't added an extra rear window, ensuring that the design remains sleek, cohesive, and modern. That is able to be heated too. The only feature from BYD I'm missing here is a sunshade.
Well, so the planet doesn't scorch us in the summer.
Because when the sun beats down on you here in August with outside temperatures of 30 or 35 degrees, it feels like a hot plate. It heats up quite a lot and it really glows through, so I'm quite very sensitive to intense heat. I definitely need some kind of curtain, a blind, or a blackout function, and I just didn't find anything here. Sometimes I unfortunately overlook it too, but in this case I didn't find anything. There will likely be aftermarket solutions like with Tesla. The view through the passenger side door gives you a really nice and clear look at the open structure of the center console. That means we have the convenient option to place the lady's handbag comfortably down here. The men's bag, which we don't have with us again. Stefan, where's my men's bag?
It's most definitely in your closet at home. I'm absolutely sure of it.
Yes, but I need my pouch with me. Yes.
Then you must pack it up.
Can I put that in my bag?
All right, why not?
Well, exactly. Look, speaking of hand luggage, we obviously have here also a beautiful glove compartment with a decent size, also nicely lined with felt. Here's some Alcantara once more, a black piece right here, and then some plastic over here. Well, I really think it's quite well made. One has to say the value for the money spent is truly plentiful and abundant in this particular car. With all due respect to every euro, please. I know that 44,900 euros can also be a heck of a lot of money for a car. as befits a sporty car. Sport seats are of course included. Yes. Nice faux leather here with thick solid support in the lumbar area with proper support here in the thigh area. That could have maybe gone a little further here, but that's just my personal taste. We also have a nice long seating area, which unfortunately can't be extended further, but it's completely sufficient for my height of 1.85 meters. We have proper shoulder pads here, an integrated headrest, then a nice BYD logo here, and in the back we have a pass-through in case something needs to come from the back to the front. And what we also have here is a nice heated structure.
Pretty posh.
Here too with a piping, then the two-tone seams again, and another piping here. Stefan, as always, the highlight, I believe.
Then the ISOFIX on the front passenger seat.
Exactly. That means we have 3 child ISOFIX points. So dear mothers and fathers, you can decide where your 1, 2 or 3 children will sit. In the front or at the back, seated behind the driver or the passenger seat. That's truly a fantastic option. Yes, what's also great is of course that we have a seat belt.
Yeah?
The tent's hard like plastic, not great. Well, that means it's prone to rattling. I can only keep pointing it out, and what I find a bit easier, how do you always affectionately refer to this plastic?
Or?
Yeah, that's basically just the way the entry points are designed. I would have really appreciated a material that is a bit more scratch resistant, BYD. The downside of sedans, which is probably why you all love SUVs so much, is always the limited space in the back seat area. Let's try that next with a test seating in the back. I'm 1.85 meters tall, fawn-like, 99.9 kilos heavy. And we want to see how much spacious legroom Ali truly enjoys back here in the rear.
There he is.
I must confess this is surprisingly pleasant, don't you think? I really didn't expect that at all. No. So you sit somewhat lower in here. You sit in such a comfortable way as if you're being gently settled right into it. It's cramped but without being forced. I don't even know how to describe it.
I noticed that you just slide in and then you're basically stuck sitting there.
Exactly, the focus is right at the end of the buttocks, and that way you sit well. Everything is comfortably snug and tight. It's not padded like a soft old man's chair. I have to say, with this slightly protruding comfortable headrest, I could really take a power nap here.
All right then, fire away.
No, it's very early in the morning. We also have to go to the Kreuzhilden charging park for the ED1000 meeting. Please check out the second video where we then drive this car 1,000 kilometers in one day. I'm really eager to see if he performs well or not. I'm curious how you'll rate it. Yeah, what we have here is a nice center console, also softly padded, really soft. 2 cup holders. Yes, they're not perfect ergonomically. I would have preferred the center armrest to be a bit longer and the cup holders to be further forward, so you don't run the risk if you're a bit bigger and taller like me. Then to roll in with his elbow in that manner, because on longer distances that's incredibly uncomfortable and quite annoying. Yes, child ISOFIX attachment in the back. By the way, we've nicely mirrored the seats from the front to the back, I think, also with a bit of lumbar support, with just a little bit of thigh support. Yes, some of you performing like me might say it could have been a bit more woulda, coulda, shoulda. Let's not forget we're talking about a car priced at 44,900 euros, fully equipped. Just choose the color and then you're good to go. I think this is a different philosophy compared to what we sometimes see with our valuable German premium manufacturers or even European ones. With a base price of 44,000 and then such a long list of add-ons. And let's be real.
And in no time, you're at 65.
Exactly. And even with Tesla, which I think starts at 41 or 43, things have become blurred due to these import tariffs. Then you add this, that, or the other thing, and your chosen color means you're down 1 or 2 kilograms. And with another interior color choice, you still can pick 2 colors at BYD too. So from that perspective, I have to say BYD is pursuing a really cool, clever strategy. Yes, the backrest of the front seats is completely covered in faux leather, very nicely done. We have 2 exemplary pockets here where you can put a smartphone. We have a large pocket for toys, for a tablet, for a newspaper, so that's really all perfect. But Stefan, if you come in here, we have another compartment with USB-A, USB-C ports, and then here another compartment. However, we don't actually have any controls here for the 3rd climate zone.
Nah, just the standard stuff around here.
We'll need to check while driving if we can adjust it from the front. Not that we say the incorrect thing. I might have wished that the passengers seated in the back could adjust their own 3rd climate zone on their own initiative back here. which is also great. We have the grab handles here. Yeah, very good. So when I'm zipping through the corners again, you can of course hold on nicely here. Check this out. It's specifically meant for the business folks.
Wonderful, you can hang up the suit bags nicely.
Look, it hangs nicely here.
Sweet.
Rear door panel matches the front. Yes,
Is simple.
but again with a durable hard plastic at the bottom. Yes, that's good.
Easy Tiger. Yeah.
Let's proceed to the driving report. I'm absolutely thrilled about this. We want to find out how well the BYC actually performs on the road. We set off with the BYD Seal and have now made our way onto the highway. This is because we want to have the chance to thoroughly test the various assistance systems together with you right here, giving them a proper go as we drive. We have the ICC system on board, which stands for Intelligent Support Technology. It operates effectively in the semi-autonomous driving area, providing essential driving assistance. Yeah, what I kind of miss in the Target, because I know it from the Target UDMI, is a head-up display, Stefan, right? Yes.
We regret lacking that.
Exactly. What we do have on board here is the steering assistant and the lane keeping assistant. We have the adaptive cruise control on board. We have a relatively well-functioning traffic sign recognition system. When it becomes uncomfortable, it tends to get difficult.
Isn't it? Indeed true.
But like, I would say in daily life, what do you call that? Like in the everyday use, as long as there are no special occurrences, I believe it operates quite solidly overall.
Yeah, he's doing well.
And here too, despite everything, let's take a look outside, Stefan. We have this construction zone marking, but it stays cleanly in the middle of the lane. So it detects it, and now we have a bumpy line here again. Let's see what he's doing now. Yeah, look, he's doing it really neatly. Well, there are indeed other participants who simply continue to drive straight ahead. Yeah, right, without any bling and bang. Yeah. What I really like about the BYD Seal is my seating position. I have got plenty of space here. I'm comfortably settled into the sleek and sporty design seat. And with this seat depth, I also have good ergonomics. That's sometimes the downside with SUVs, that you end up sitting almost like at a dining table. And that might not be so, especially on longer distances. Be quite comfortable. Yes, otherwise the car is firmly yet comfortably sprung, so you can see here that it hardly shakes. I'm positively surprised because remember the BYD Seal U video where we filmed the SUV version of the Seal, so to speak. He totally was a rocker.
He was more like a rocking horse.
This definitely shows that BYD is capable of delivering a more performance-focused and finely tuned setup.
Sure.
We want to measure the interior noise with you at 50 kilometers per hour. 50, 58 Dezibel, that's great. Let's go 70, 60, 62 decibels, and we're going at 165, 66 decibels. So those are actually decent values, right, Stefan? Absolutely.
Yes. Double glazing, nicely designed, sleek car. Yes, very lovely. I really like it.
We are planning to simulate parking right here with the BYD Seal and thoroughly examine the extensive variety of advanced assistance systems that are offered in this particular model. Included as standard is a 360-degree camera system. I really appreciate that because it gives us fantastic all-around visibility. This is a high-resolution camera system indeed. You can basically see every branch here and every little piece, which is something I really like. I switch back to the camera. And what's really great is that you also have the option here to view the car in 3 dimensions. This means that you have a very, very nice top view, which you can move around accordingly to get different perspectives. Additionally, you also have side views included so you can see the best possible angles, ensuring that you don't accidentally damage your left or right rims accordingly. Damaged. Yes, what is very good is also 180 degrees view. We have that both in the back and in the front. That's always important when you're driving out of a driveway, whether pedestrians or cyclists are coming. That's a very, very nice feature. And when you, of course, engage the forward gear, then you naturally also have guidelines because many of you do not know how to turn the steering wheel when driving out. Surely someone thought, if there are guidelines in back, let's also add them in front.
Yeah, sure, go big or go home.
Makes sense, right? We're driving through here with the BYD destination, I think. The place is called Solingen near Düsseldorf. But he's pretty tough in the city, isn't he?
Yes, that definitely contributes to forming the overall sporty impression as a whole, you know what I mean? I really find the steering to be very direct, actually. Absolutely. And fun, it's also a bit more sporty oriented.
But right here in the city, let's see, over the last 50 kilometers, including highways, we've had a consumption of 15.4 kilowatt hours. It's also remarkably efficient with its rear-wheel drive.
It's fantastic.
Yes, you have 3 driving modes to choose from. You have Eco, where you obviously then try to have the lowest consumption. Then there's Comfort, just for the comfort's sake, smooth cruising along. And what we, of course, have enabled is Sport. And it's nice and direct, so if you just press the pedal like here at a traffic light, there's a moment's pause, but then it takes off with a nice, powerful charge, and you really feel the over 400 Newton meters of torque from the 230 kilowatt rear motor. That's quite a punch.
Does it well, yeah.
Stefan, let's do a launch. Yo.
3, 2, 1, and let's get everything started now.
He speeds up swiftly, 40, 50, 70, 80, and then eventually 100. Let's go ahead and test the brakes now. Yes, they grip and hold excellently indeed. We have values, Stefan. Unfortunately, you need to read it. I can't do that while driving. I'll read it.
We have 0 to 100 in 6.34, 0 to 60 in 3.51, and 0 to 50 in 2.93.
This means it achieves 5.9 in 500 meters. Exactly. The specification is 5.9 seconds. I must say, it's quite impressive. Yeah, just like that, off the top of your head, right?
He's not really throwing himself into it.
Everything is good.
Maybe it's missing that T-punch here. Yes.
Okay.
But here you most likely have the Excellence variant featuring the all-wheel drive, which with the assistance of the front motor truly provides that extra bit of flair.
Right? Yep.
We should definitely give that another try, the Excellence variant. Perhaps we have the opportunity to obtain another test vehicle from BYD. I'm very keen to do a fuel efficiency drive in the area of Mecklenburg.
Absolutely, it's enjoyable to drive on our A20, where there's limited traffic, unlike here.
Well, I mean, there's traffic here, there's congestion, one highway intersection after another. So it's quite challenging in NRW if you're not like the colleagues who originally come from NRW and know every street here by heart. Then probably testing something like that, a consumption path.
Yes, exactly. Then it will definitely be much easier for us up there.
Gradually but surely we have covered quite a number of kilometers, and of course we have a particularly special information tool for this unique Suolfillambiente experience. This means that Stefan's popometer has been known here at Einfach Elektrisch for many years and always gives the right indication for comfort, for sporty. What's it showing today, Stefan?
So, first, I always start with the seats as usual. I find them super comfortable, I really have to say. Good side support I have, thighs, yes, could have been a bit more, especially since this is supposed to be such a high-performance car here.
Suspension firmly comfortable, I would say indeed. Yes, but really quite pleasant.
Yes, for me it feels almost too stiff when driving around in the city. I'm probably, to be honest, a bit spoiled because of the comfort provided by the air suspension of the Mercedes. However, I believe for everyone who is on the lookout for a sporty, dynamic vehicle, it could indeed turn out to be quite stylish and appealing, don't you think?
I agree with that, yeah. You'll definitely have fun with it.
And I believe he's also quite a strong competitor to the Tesla Model 3 as well as the Polestar 2. And honestly, when it comes to the price-performance ratio, it really stands on equal footing with the Tesla, you definitely have to say.
Sure, yeah.
And visually, I might even find it a bit more successful.
I have to honestly say, I like the whole thing here a bit better too.
And especially when you're in the interior here with the material mix, it's like a bit of this and that, a touch of flair. So BYD really made a great move with the BYD Seal, right?
Yo.
Having a great sound from now on would be a dream, right? Thin audio's got something, huh? Yeah. There's quite a nice bass which we somehow almost managed to feel in our minds. So in my opinion, the Now Neo is basically like standard equipment nowadays. Creates a good sound in the car. Last but not least, let's talk about the turning circle. We have a goal of 11 meters 40 here with the BYD. This means I can actually maneuver smoothly around these corners. That's really great. It's like in Spain. However, it does slow me down a bit. 11 meters 40 for a 4 meter 80 limousine is, I believe, a good option even in urban environments to comfortably navigate through narrow streets and winding alleys. Yes, and with that said, let's finally come to the conclusion. We apologize for deviating a bit from the chronology today, but in unfamiliar territory, one must first get accustomed to the circumstances. Yeah, conclusion on the BYD Seal sedan in the rear-wheel drive design, I have to say, it totally blew me away.
Absolutely. I like the car. Finally a sedan, not another SUV, damn it. Very nice car.
And when you think about how much car, how much content, how many things you get for 44,900 euros, with all respect for every euro, I have to say, that's almost an unbeatable price for an electric car in 2024, isn't it? Absolutely. The only thing that this car is probably missing is having some affordable leasing and financing conditions.
That might just be arriving soon.
You'll definitely find them in the extensive network of BYD. Dealers that are now relatively well distributed across the Federal Republic of Germany. There are 5 or 6 big chain stores, multi-brand dealers. I think they also carry Mercedes and BMW, offering quality. And then you get a car with everything included. 360-degree camera system. All tech, large battery with 82.5 kilowatt hours, solid power with, in my opinion, 230 kilo. If you want more, you can of course get the Excellence variant for 50,900 euros, then even with 530 horsepower and 3.8 seconds from 0 to 100. And I truly think the limousine is simply fantastic. I love BYD's concept of letting you select the color inside, outside, and outside. Otherwise, you have 2 options to choose from. It's simply nice because you don't have to scrape through such an endlessly long list of extras to find your car. That's why I would suggest you feel free to stop by your local BYD dealer or visit their website. Gather more details and give the car a test drive, then kindly leave your comprehensive feedback in the comments below. And with that, we finally reached the conclusion of today's video featuring the BYD Seal. And you have seen for yourselves just what an intriguing car it can be. Yes, I hope that this video has been quite helpful to you all. You give it a thumbs up. Please feel free to check again if you are part of the Einfacher Elektrisch community. If not, we'd be glad if you support us by subscribing. Sure, ring the bell, because soon the 1,000 kilometer challenge of the ED1000 with the BYD Seal is coming too. You'll have the chance to see if this car can actually cover a distance of 1,000 kilometers in just the span of one day. Thanks so much for watching. Stay healthy and see you soon. Yours, Ollie. You, Stefan. So, what I find really awesome is this. LED signature here.
I think that's awesome. It looks really good.
Schick, eh?
Indeed.